That's a very, very interesting theory. Henry Cavill might be Ultraman. We've all heard the theories, but I've got a video I just found that supposedly is laying it out at a 99% chance. Pretty sure this is clickbait, but I'm kind of curious. They got me, okay? I'm going to say it that way. So let's see what they say. Why is it 99% chance that he's back as Ultraman? Let's check it out.
Henry Cavill might secretly be playing Ultraman in James Gunn's Superman.
Maybe.
Yeah,
that
Henry
looks
Cavill.
fake.
The OG DCEU Superman, the one they replaced. And if this theory is real, it could be the most savage redemption arc we've ever seen. Let's break it down.
Would be indeed.
Before we do that, shout out to
true.
all 1,000 of you who subscribed in just 7 days.
Hey,
I've been reading
that's
every
me.
comment,
I subscribed.
every bit of feedback, and it means a lot. If you're new here, hit that sub button so we can keep this nerdy takeover going.
Just
kind of
makes you feel good,
Let's get
doesn't it?
one thing straight. Ultraman is not just some random villain. This dude is a walking nuclear warhead wearing Superman's face. And the more we find out, the more obvious it gets. This isn't just another throwaway antagonist. This is a statement, a multiverse-level threat disguised as a familiar face. Now, if you've read the comics, you already know who Ultraman is. He's Superman's evil counterpart from Earth 3. Same powers,
all correct.
Same look, but this
nothing
dude,
to do with
he
Henry
grew up
Cavill
without
so
the Kents,
far.
without compassion and without
correct.
limits. Instead of standing for truth and hope, Ultraman stands for control, dominance, and fear.
Ultraman would be like basically just like the dictator version. If you don't know who Ultraman is, the dictator version of Superman. Like if Superman actually were evil, sadistic, psychotic, that's kind of what Ultraman would be. Not quite a Homelander, but something not good.
And here's where things get wild. Ultraman is literally powered by green kryptonite.
They're getting wild.
Not weakened, empowered. And instead of the sun giving him strength like Clark Kent, sunlight is his weakness. That's why, in the trailers, you see him suited up in that black Kryptonian armor. It's not
This
a
is
style
a very
choice.
good YouTube
It's
video
protection.
because so
And
far
it screams,
I'm
not
still
from
watching
around
to
here.
find out about
the
Henry,
craziest part,
and we know
DC's
nothing.
own official toy merch confirms this. The toys label him as Ultraman, not Zod, not Bizarro, not a
True.
clone, Ultraman.
Yeah, so we
And
do know.
yet,
We do know.
for
We've
some
known for a
reason,
while. It's Ultraman.
Warner Brothers still hasn't revealed who's playing him. Think about that. We know who's
They
playing
haven't.
every other.
I would find it strange for them to hide. Here, let's skip this ad.
Other character.
I would find it strange for them to hide David playing Ultraman. That seems strange. It could just be David, but I really find it strange that they would hide that. And I kind of feel like we might not possibly find out until the next movie who Ultraman actually is. Could be in the credits. Let me know what you think in the comments if maybe we'll find out in the credit scene or if we'll find out in the next movie or we won't find out at all. Let me know what you think, because that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not even sure we'll find out in this movie who he is.
In this movie, we've seen set leaks, trailers, behind-the-scenes footage, but Ultraman, his face is hidden. His name isn't in the credits. And
It is
despite all the
mysterious.
marketing, they're keeping it secret. That's not a coincidence. That's a setup. And if this guy is really just a villain of the week, why the mystery? Why all the secrecy?
I like the
Why does the
Photoshop
entire
again.
movie seem to be dancing around the one guy who looks exactly like Superman but isn't played by the same actor? It's almost like they're trying to hide something
Maybe
or someone. And when you put all this together, the character, the suit, the powers, the secrecy, it's starting to feel like Ultraman.
I will say this, though. If Henry is playing Ultraman, I have a feeling that he has not been in that suit at all. I kind of feel like that would be a thing where it's like maybe he would have had to have paid him a lot more money, because Ultraman seems to have, he probably could have gotten away with being like, hey, listen, I'll give you a couple million if you just show your face at the end. We'll see. I don't know. But let's see what this guy says. So far, he's told me nothing. So we'll see.
Isn't just a plot device. He's the key to something way bigger. If Ultraman is supposed to be Superman's multiverse twin, literally the same person from a different universe, then explain this. Why is he shorter?
You notice how the bad guy, let me back that up for just a second. The bad version does not have the trunks. You see that? You see that? The bad version doesn't have the trunks. All you anti-trunks guys, take note. Take note.
Universe, then explain this. Why is he shorter? And I'm not just saying he looks a little different.
I mean, thought that too. I was
noticeably
actually going to say that just a couple seconds
ago. You don't
ago.
even need a measuring tape. Just watch the
not
trailer,
6'4".
look at the set photos, compare the official toys. Ultraman is visibly shorter than David Cornsweat's
I didn't know
Superman.
that.
And you can't write that off
Yeah,
as
Henry
some
Cavill
random
thinks only around
visual
6'1".
inconsistency. This is DC Studios. James Gunn doesn't do things by accident. Everything is precise. So if Ultraman is meant to be a version of Superman, wouldn't you expect him to look the same? Same build.
Now, I will say that shot, that's a little bit of forced perspective, a little bit, but he shouldn't be as basically the way that, here, let's see if I can get my brain wrapped around this. Forced perspective would be like Henry's going to look taller. I mean, not Henry. David's going to look taller because he's closer, but Henry's only like 6'1". He's 6'3", so it wouldn't be that much different. So him standing back a foot or so, this will be a shorter person, but maybe not quite. I don't know. I'm really curious. Really curious.
Same height, same physicality. But here, that's not what we're seeing. So here's the question.
Yeah,
why would they cast a different-sized actor to play Superman's supposed twin? Unless it's not David Cornsweet under that black suit at all.
But again, if it's David...
Because someone else does
Henry,
fit the profile.
I don't know if he's
same Kryptonian
there.
body type, iconic presence, a little shorter than Cornsweet. Cavill is 6'1", that's 185 centimeters. While Cornsweet is a towering 6'4", 193 centimeters. That's a perfect match for what we're seeing on screen. And let's not forget, Cavill has always had that broader, more
very wild of an idea. Let me know if you think it's a really wild idea for Henry to, like, wild and in the sense that it's unlikely not going to happen. He's saying 99% chance that he is. I don't know. I feel like it's a very wild idea. I feel like it seemed like there was some bad blood between him and James when this whole thing went down. He was like, hey, let me be Superman. Let me announce it. Okay, sure. I'm going to take it away. You know, it seems bad, but they could be geniuses. You know, that could be a ploy. I really don't know. I'm not sure. But 99% chance so far, you haven't told me 99% chance. But let's see.
In fact,
we got more video.
Ultraman's physicality, the thicker neck, the wider shoulders, the darker, more aggressive
I don't know about thicker neck.
It feels way more like Cavill's Superman than Cornsweet's. And what's more, Ultraman's actor has never been named.
Could do that.
No cast list, no credit, no press announcement.
Yes. That is very, very, very curious to me. He's never been named. Never been named. Like, I find it strange that there hasn't been more videos out there about this and more topics. This is the first video I've even done on Ultraman, and all I'm doing is watching somebody else's video because I'm trying to figure out how do you have enough evidence to say 99% chance. Now, I do know that whoever it is, it better be at least a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, it could just be David, but I kind of feel like it won't be. I kind of feel like it makes no sense to hide Ultraman's face. Like, it could be Bizarro, you know? I don't know. We'll
this looming black-suited figure they keep hiding in shadows.
And I'm not sure if that right there, I'm not sure if that was even, my stupid recording thing's in the way. I'm not sure if that was even him. I don't know if that was, I lost where we were in the video.
Well said.
Oh, great, I hit an ad. But I'm not even sure that laser-eyeing individual was, in fact, Ultraman. Because that person looks distorted and strange.
Was over.
Where is that spot? Is that where we were?
Wider shoulders, the darker, more aggressive posture. It feels way more like Cavill's Superman than Cornsweet's. And what's more, Ultraman's actor has never been named. No cast list,
I think we're about
no
there.
Credit, no press announcement. Just this looming black-suited figure
that right there,
hiding in shadows.
That
You're
doesn't
telling
seem
Warner
to me
Brothers
to be
has a brand new version of
the
Superman's
same person. And if it is,
enemy,
I don't know if their mask
and they're
is
not
on.
naming the actor, unless naming him ruins the surprise. And what actor would break the internet if revealed? Cavill, the man James Gunn supposedly let go from the DCU, making a comeback as a dark mirror to his own legacy. That's not just poetic. That's marketing gold. Now let's talk about the silence because Henry Cavill's been way too quiet. Like suspiciously
I don't know. I feel like Henry wouldn't do it.
For a guy who was once the face of Superman,
I feel like
the
he wouldn't
silence
be up
is
for that.
deafening. Let's rewind. After his brief return in Black Adam, remember that iconic post-credit scene where fans went absolutely feral?
Yeah.
It felt like Cavill was officially back.
I remember. How many of you, when he came back, was like, yes, this is perfect. I want him to finally get to do his version of Superman. That's how I felt. I felt like he hadn't quite gotten to do it. He'd been being held back. I felt like he was finally going to get to do his version of Superman. That's how it felt to me. That's almost how it seemed with him. Because you even notice he's got the curl when he walks out. Like, he seems to me like he had a little bit more control here. And I don't know. That's how I felt, guys. Let me know in the comments if you felt the same way whenever he came out like that. If you were like, oh, we're finally going to get to see the real Superman. We're going to get that Man of Steel 2 that we all deserve.
Posted that heartfelt Instagram video saying, the cape is still mine. Fans were hyped, the studio was buzzing, and then boom, James Gunn takes over DC. And just like that, Cavill's Superman, gone. We're going in a different direction, Gunn said. Cavill's role as Superman was over. Except, was it really? Because ever since then, Henry Cavill has basically vanished from Hollywood. He hasn't said a single word about James Gunn's reboot.
It is strange that he hasn't said any words about Superman. To me, I was thinking, is he really that, like, publicly sore about it? Like, I feel like the way he is, he's a very, he went to, like, what do you call it? I don't know what they call it over in Britain, but that school that teaches you how to be posh, it teaches you how to be private school and stuff that teaches you how to be proper and everything. He's talked about things in a very, he knows how to handle situations that are very awkward. I feel like it would be strange of him to just keep away, to just not talk about it. And nobody, as far as I know, has really asked him about it. He's been very hard to get into contact with, like he said. That's kind of weird. I just always have attributed that to him being not happy. Let me know in the comments if you think it could be because he's having to keep a tight lid. I remember him talking about having to keep a tight lid on being in Black Adam. That was something he really had to try hard to do. But I don't know.
No public statement.
What is with the ads? I don't know what's up with these ads. But I think so far he's
no
not.
social media posts. Nothing about the new Superman. Nothing about David Cornsweet. Nothing about his own exit. Radio.
Past Supermen usually say something about the next Superman. I can't think of any quotes off the top of my head, but they usually acknowledge him. It's not some bitter thing. And like I said, Henry Cavill is very proper. He's good at that kind of stuff. He's learned how to be that way. I don't know. It's strange.
Silence. And let's be real, that's not normal. Not for Cavill, not for someone who usually
That's what I'm
keeps it
saying.
classy, posts updates,
Right.
and stays connected with fans.
Yes,
Instead, he dipped.
exactly.
And what has he done since the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare? Literally nothing major. He didn't announce a new blockbuster, no superhero franchise, no Witcher comeback. But then recently, he pops up with a brand new haircut. And guess what? That slick back Kryptonian fade just happens to look exactly like Ultraman's hairstyle.
Okay. That was interesting. I hadn't put. Okay, that's the first thing he said where I'm like, that's new information. You guys know I've looked at this and I have said that I think that could possibly be Lauron, a Kryptonian werewolf, because that's what it looks like to me. That's a very, very interesting theory. That is interesting. When he showed that, I have seen that shot of him with the longer hair. I just figured he was, I'm not really keeping up with what he's doing. I thought he was probably doing something like Medieval or, Warhammer 40,000 or something like that. That's it. Okay. I'm kind of speechless here. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Because if it's not a werewolf, it could just be the 90s Superman came back, from the dead hairdo, which would really be, oh gosh. Okay, he's finally saying stuff that's got me like,
in the Superman trailers. And this is what seals
What
it.
else
They've
you got?
confirmed the character is Ultraman. They've shown his full suit. They've made the toys, but they haven't revealed who's playing him.
They made the toys. I got the toys. Where's it? I got this right here. Look at this. I got Ultraman right there, which I find strange. Ultraman is purple in the toys. Like, have y'all noticed that? I mean, like, I don't know if the camera can see that very good, if it'll focus. Ultraman's purple. And I hate how they do this on toys. The Superman coloring looks so much better there than it does there. Why do they do that on toys? I don't know. But yeah, Ultraman is official. It's in the toys, and he's purple for some reason.
No actor named, no credits, no face. If this were just a random stunt guy or alternate clone, they'd tell us. But the fact
Okay, I already knew all that information, but since he showed that shot, now I'm like, okay, he's ramping it up. He's giving me more information because he's right. He's right. That is very strange with Henry popping up with that haircut, that being in the background of those things. I don't know.
Writing it? Yeah. That screams surprise cameo energy. If Henry Cavill is actually Ultraman, then this would be one of the smartest moves in comic book movie history.
Okay, now that I have said, I don't know if I've said it on video or not. I've had a lot of videos, but it would be one of the smartest things. It just feels like bad blood, like probably unlikely type thing. That would be smart. Who knows? This movie had a big budget. If he wanted to, he could be like, hey, Henry, listen. 5 seconds at the end. Okay? Credits scene. I give you $15 million. You know what I mean? Like, he could have done something like that. Because honestly, $225. That's a big budget for, a barely 2-hour movie. You know what I'm saying?
Because think about the layers.
Is it barely 2 hours?
This isn't just bringing Cavill back for fan service. It's a total narrative inversion. You're taking the man who is the symbol of hope in the DCEU, the guy who literally flew down in Man of Steel to save the world.
Guys, this is a good video. Y'all need to. I have the original video in the description. Y'all need to subscribe to this channel. He's doing a great job because the thing is I thought of this before I ever even saw it online that it could be, but I was also like, it's unlikely. This video's making a believer of me. And I'm pretty sure after I watch it, I'm going to go back to going, yeah, probably not. But it's very
redemption arc.
It's a really good video.
Blowing in the wind. Just a cold, violent, broken Superman who chose to dominate instead of protect. That's poetic. That's Shakespeare-level drama in a cape. And for fans, it's the ultimate emotional whiplash. Because let's be real, a lot of people were devastated when Cavill got dropped.
Oh, and no, I'm not like supporting this guy because we've talked or anything. I don't even know if it's a guy, to be honest. I just
the fandom split, Twitter melted. Everyone wanted closure, justice, or at the very least, one more proper goodbye. But this would give them something better. Not just a cameo, not a flashback. A full theatrical return in the boldest, most unexpected way possible.
Let's would not be act epic.
Surprised, because if anyone was going to pull something this wild off, it's James Gunn. The man isn't just directing a Superman reboot. He's rebuilding an entire cinematic universe from...
But you guys know me, I'm not a big director guy. I really don't know if James Gunn is the type that would do something like this. I don't know how epic he is. I mean, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I liked them. I thought they were great movies. I'm not a big Marvel guy. Can you tell? And I saw the Scooby-Doo movies. I liked those. Did I spit at the camera? I'm not spitting at you, I promise.
From scratch. And the one thing he knows better than almost anyone in the industry, audience manipulation. This dude doesn't just write stories, he sets traps.
Tell me in the comments if that's true. Does James Gunn know audience manipulation? I mean, I don't really know. I'm not a big director guy. I've never really cared about that kind of stuff.
Nostalgia traps, shock value traps. He knows how to make you
He's
feel
got me on the
something
nostalgia trap already with that song.
He did it with Guardians of the Galaxy, a team nobody cared about until he made them your favorite characters. He did it with the Suicide Squad, turning D-list villains into fan favorites. And now he's doing it again, but on a multiverse level. Here's the thing. James Gunn has made it very clear that his DC universe is moving forward. New cast, new tone, fresh start. And he told fans respectfully that Henry Cavill wasn't part of that vision.
Okay. Where he's going into the fortress.
New tone, fresh start.
You see Ultraman there in the background? Now, first of all, again with the height, Nicholas Hoult, I believe, is about as tall as... David Korn's what I think. I think they're both around 6'4". Look at that. Ultraman appears to be shorter again. He does. And if we back it up
that his DC universe is moving forward.
Right there with forced perspective, they look like they're about the same height, but he's closer to the camera. Yeah, he could be shorter than him. Here's what's interesting to me. There at the fortress, there seems to be nothing telling us how they got in. Having the DNA or the voice registry, like if it was Ultraman, which is a clone. Not a clone, but you guys know what I'm saying, like a universal match. That would be the way to get in. So, I don't...
Fresh start. And he told fans respectfully that Henry Cavill wasn't part of that vision. And everyone believed him. We accepted it. Or at least we thought we did. But that's exactly how Gunn works.
Still,
so while everyone's looking at the left hand hyping up David Cornsweat, Lois Lane, and Mr. Terrific, the right hand is loading a nuke into the shadows. And that nuke's name...
I wouldn't put past James to lie to everybody, though. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put past him to lie to everybody. I'm wondering if he's going to hold off one more big bombshell, because the long hair thing, that's the one that really got me. I already seen that picture, but hadn't put it together with that thing that I thought was a werewolf.
Ultraman. You can already feel the setup, this hidden character, this unexplained casting silence, the camera angles that conveniently never show his full face. It's too calculated, because this isn't a leak. This isn't WB being sloppy.
Well, they're definitely hiding it strong.
Intentional misdirection. Gunn is playing the long game.
That
he
could
wants
be
you to
true.
think Cavill is...
Do you think he's playing the long game and intentionally misdirecting us to make us think that Cavill, there's no possible way, so that when it happens, it's this big thing? I don't know, man. This video really is daily nerd drop. He comes out with, I think, like a video a week or something like that, maybe 2 a week, and they're very like they're all kind of like this.
Gone. That his version of Superman is over. So when Cavill shows up in the middle of Superman, in full Ultraman glory, the collective theater reaction will be nuclear. But it's more than a cheap surprise. It's storytelling, it's strategy. It's 4D chess. Gunn knows the Cavill fandom is huge. He knows the Snyderverse crew is still active.
Question, though. The Snyder cultists. These are the kind of guys that will go and get ready to buy up tickets on the pre-sales and then just not go through with the full purchase to hold those things so other people can't get them. That's like pretty devious. Do you think they'll be okay with Henry Cavill showing up in a role that is not the Superman? You get what I'm saying? Like, it could be possible this will set us up for a universe where they can do the multiverse thing and then go and find the good version of the Henry Cavill maybe later. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if Snyder cultists would be okay. Tell me in the comments if you think they'd be okay with Henry showing up in any way other than Snyder's vision.
Online.
They're
and
Snyder
instead of
cultists
ignoring
after all,
them
not
or
Henry
pandering to
cultists.
them, he's using their expectations against them. He's turning their disappointment.
I want to check. I always look at this thing, and it never shows me anything.
Gunn knows the Cavill fandom is huge. He knows the Snyderverse crew is still active online, and instead of ignoring them or pandering to them, he's using their expectations against them.
Here, I paused it in the worst possible spot. You can't see that it's Ultraman. You can't see. I don't know.
He's turning their disappointment into narrative fuel, turning a recast into a plot twist, turning the most controversial decision in DC's recent history into a cinematic mic drop. That's not just good directing, that's Kevin Feige-level masterminding. And if this theory turns out to be true, it means Gunn just checkmated everyone in one move. He didn't abandon the past, he weaponized it. And the face of that weapon, Henry Cavill as Ultraman.
Okay, let me know what you think in the comments. Has this video caused you to say, yeah, maybe 99%, maybe so? Or are you just like, it's a really good theory, probably not 99%. But maybe here's where I am at. I was like very unlikely. Now I'm like, there's a 50% chance that there could be something like that going on. But in that 50% chance, I'm still holding like a 10% chance that it's Henry Cavill. Does that make sense? I mean, it could be Brandon Routh. You never know. Like, you never know who it could be. I really doubt the Brandon Routh thing, though. But I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like reaction videos where I react to stuff like this, there was this weird, like, 1970s AI movie trailer that somebody did. Check it out, this video right here. I reacted to that one. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see.